Would you spend $5,000 on an entry door that will warp, crack, and screams high maintenance?
Do you know what to look out for? We've got a show for you. Hi everyone, welcome to Stay Glassy. This is episode 3. Super excited to be here. I'm Maria.
And I'm Duncan.
Before we get into our exciting episode, all about entry doors, very cool. It's gonna enhance curb appeal. Cannot wait to talk about this. We have some exciting news that we want to talk about.
We do.
Do you know what's happening on Thursday?
Of course I do. That's why I don't have any scars. It's our 4th wedding anniversary. And guess where we're going?
Disneyland! Woo! We cannot wait. I can't wait. I don't know. Can you wait? I mean...
You know, Charlie Sheen comes to mind. And I have to say...
Charlie Sheen?
Winning.
What? Charlie Sheen? I do not understand that one.
He used
Charlie
to say
Sheen.
winning.
Oh.
You know?
No, I don't.
Well, he's been gone for a while. So.
Really?
Okay.
Where's he gone?
I'm not sure that anybody knows.
Okay, well, but I am very excited about this because what we are doing is we're actually staying the night. We're going to stay at Grand California Hotel.
Adventure?
No, it's a hotel. That's the other park that we're going to. We're doing a 2-park hopper thing.
I'm just along for the ride.
So because we're doing that, we get to have early access to the park on Thursday, on our anniversary. And the first thing that we're doing is we are running like mad people to Rise of the Resistance in Star Wars Land.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this. I'm super excited. I actually got to go to Disneyland last week with one of my daughters, Alexandra. Love you, babe. I do. She's cute. She's my baby. Got to go to Disneyland with her and rode on Rise of the Resistance for the first time, and it was spectacular. So I'm super excited to take you there. You've never been?
I have not done that one, and I have not been to Disneyland for 15 years, so I'm so excited.
I know you are. I am really, really excited. All right. So
It's either that or work. So, you know, Disneyland sounds pretty good.
hey, it's our anniversary. You're supposed to be excited about
I'm
it.
very excited.
Thank
I really
you.
am.
Thank you. 4th anniversary, if you didn't.
May the
mention that.
4th be with me.
Oh, God, yes. All right. Shall we get into some Glazed and Confused?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's get into Glazed and Confused. Just a reminder, this is where we address some of our visitor questions that we get. And we've got some good ones. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention is last episode 2, where we talked about, do you remember?
Well, I remember telling people to stay tuned to find out more about how fiberglass doors and Corvettes have things in common.
Yes, but do you remember what episode 2 was about?
No.
Oh, that's perfect. It was about glass.
Oh,
No, it wasn't. Oh my God, it wasn't about glass. What am I talking about? It was actually about the common mistakes that you can make. Yeah.
Buying mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. But you talked about Corvettes and fiberglass,
Yep.
and we never addressed it later on in the episode. So I'd love for you to kind of can you explain where you were going with Corvettes and fiberglass, please?
I can. So you didn't know this until I told you. Most people don't know this, but Corvettes, going back into the 1950s when they were absolutely beautiful, they're made of fiberglass. They're not made of metal. And when people say, should I buy a fiberglass window or a fiberglass door? What do they look like? I always say, have you ever seen a Corvette? And most people say yes. And I say, well, they paint beautifully, right? So fiberglass windows and doors can have a very, very high sheen. They look as good, if not better than wood. And they don't have all the pitfalls that wood have. So that's what they have in common.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, that does explain a lot.
Yeah.
More, I should say. All right. So let's dive into Glazed and Confused section. So the first question, stop peeking. Jeez, why do you do that? All right.
Curious.
I have an old single pane wood window and 2 of them have cracked. Can you help me with a glass replacement, or should I just consider replacing them? It's a great question.
It is a great question. So the best answer to that is you could do either. Yes, you could replace the glass in your old single pane wood window,
Right.
but why would you? Not energy efficient.
Exactly.
Possibly your wood old windows are not in the greatest shape. Maybe they need maintenance. Maybe they've suffered some dry rot or some termite damage.
Okay.
You're not getting any UV block or anything. So we can replace your old wood windows with...
the single pane in the wood window.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, I do it all the time. Sorry.
She does. I was going to say we can replace your old wood windows, including the glass, with dual pane energy efficient, either vinyl or fiberglass products. And if you're worried about your wood windows not looking like they're wood anymore, fiberglass looks just like wood and can be painted any color, or you can start with stock standard colors that come that way from the manufacturer, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, well, there you go. Corvette, fiberglass,
Yep.
painting, all full circle.
Absolutely.
I love it. All full circle.
Okay, you got another one?
I do have another one. Okay, one side of my house gets a lot of sun and makes the room hot. What solution can we come up with to reduce heat coming in? That's a really good, I mean, that's common, quite common.
It's
right?
very common. Yeah, south facing, west facing, especially living here in Southern California. You got to do low E glass. Replacing your windows or doors and putting low E or low E max on your south and west facing windows will dramatically reduce the amount of UV that comes in, and will stop a lot of the heat, the damage to your carpets, your hardwood floors, your paintings, your furniture. If you don't know about low E, check it out.
Yep, absolutely. We actually talked about it, low E, all of these things, actually single pane, double pane, and triple pane. We talked about all of this in episode 2. So do you remember?
Yeah, so go back and do your homework.
Oh, or watch episode 2. I mean, that's another way to do it.
Okay, what's next?
All right, next question. I have an aluminum window from the 90s that's severely damaged, and I'm having a hard time getting someone to replace it. I want all my windows to match, but it seems like no one is really installing aluminum anymore. What should I do? This is a great question, right? Because a lot of people talk to us about this, where you got one type of window, you don't really want to do all your windows at once. If you only do one, it's going to really change. Yeah. So this is a great question.
It's actually a very difficult situation, and it's not going away, and it's very common.
Yeah.
However, when you started asking that question, the first thing that came into my mind was that song by Icona Pop.
Oh, good God.
Do you remember?
I think so.
The one about being a 90s something or other?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's the song. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So 1990s aluminum, it depends on whether you have white painted aluminum, anodized bronze aluminum, which is the sort of dark brown black color, or silver anodized, which wasn't very popular in the 90s, but was still being made. The problem is that aluminum windows no longer meet Title 24 in Southern California.
Okay.
So you can't even put them in legally. They don't meet the building codes, which is why a lot of manufacturers have stopped making them.
Right. Okay.
But there are solutions. So vinyl windows come in white, they come in black, and you can also get them in a silver finish. Now, most people think about vinyl windows being tremendously wider than aluminum windows. And that can be true and is true, but there are also series of vinyl windows that have thinner frames. They will never be quite as thin as an aluminum frame because they don't have the strength and the rigidity in such a small piece, but you can get very close to it. And if you look at the big picture as time goes on, you're more than likely going to replace all of your single pane aluminum windows as time goes on. So start with something that you can continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, just for the mere fact of energy efficiency, right? I mean, that alone is one of the reasons why you should be considering it. Well, look, I just want to say these questions were great. I think we're getting some really, really good questions. However, we have not stumped Dunk yet. You did pretty well.
Not going to happen.
You did a really good job. I got to say, you really answered those questions well.
Thank you.
So we need tougher questions, guys. Tougher questions. Let's stump Dunk.
32 years. All I'm going to say, I'm going to say what Liam Neeson said in the movie Taken. Actually, it wasn't him. It was Marco from Tripoli. Good luck.
And with that, let's wrap Glazed and Confused. Let's talk about entry doors. What you don't know can cost you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about energy efficiency and security tips when it comes to entry doors? And by the way, entry doors, not only can it cost you, actually adds a lot of curb appeal before we get into this part.
Tremendous.
Tremendous, right? I mean,
For most homes, it's the front of your house.
it's the front of your house.
Yeah.
It's the first thing people walk up to when they come to your house. It really can make a difference.
It's the entrance to your castle.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So let's talk about energy efficiency.
Yep.
Fiberglass doors are 3 times more energy efficient than wood doors.
No way.
Wait.
Way.
It's because of all of the insulation and properties that are inside a fiberglass door
Okay.
that is way more dense and has much greater energy efficiency and meet Title 24 and all those beautiful things.
Okay, interesting. So you mentioned energy efficiency and fiberglass for my entry door. Is it only fiberglass that are energy efficient?
No.
Okay.
But having a good quality entry door that is energy efficient
Yep.
these days with all of the new Energy Star ratings is extremely important. So
Right.
you wouldn't want a hollow core door for your entry door.
Okay. Makes sense.
you
So
know-
definitely got to look for the star rating.
Yep.
Absolutely look for the star rating.
Also, let's talk about security.
I was just going to say security is a big thing for your entry door.
So, multi-point locking systems and just upgraded locking systems
Okay.
these days are available that are so much better than the old ones.
God, I mean, safety is such a big thing.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, how about the difference between pre-hung versus slab doors, entry doors specifically? And can you tell me, Duncan, a little bit? First, let's like take it down a level. Let's just dumb it down here. Okay, or we can even go lower.
My legs won't let me.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between, or define for me what a pre-hung door is, what a slab door is, and then talk to me about the differences between the two?
Okay. So a pre-hung door simply means that it comes pre-hung with the hinges in a jamb. And that's usually the 2 sides and the top. If you're talking about an entry door, you're going to include the threshold as well.
Okay.
If you were just talking about an interior door, it would be the 2 sides and the top. And the difference between doing a pre-hung door and a slab door is you can buy a slab and replace just the door into your existing jamb.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay,
is
got it.
not really possible with fiberglass.
Not possible with fiberglass to just do a slab
To get it to fit, very difficult
properly. Yeah.
because you can't adjust it. So with a wood door, you can plane it, you can adjust it, you can chisel, you can do all those things. You can't do that with a fiberglass door. Also, one of the things I love to talk about with fiberglass doors is they come with a composite jamb. So instead of having a wood jamb, which we're going to get into a little bit later, and all the things that go wrong with wood, the composite jamb really helps as well.
Okay. But so for what we want to talk about, pre-hung versus slab, for an entry door, what is better in terms of?
If you're going fiberglass, pre-hung.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So definitely a pre-hung then.
Yep.
Great. All right. Let's talk about, this is going to be a good one, the difference between fiberglass versus wood.
Doors.
But doors, entry doors. But first, and now let's talk about fiberglass versus wood. And actually, look at this. Is one of our fiberglass doors that looks like wood, and it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I love it. I want one.
I'm sure you do.
It's just, I don't know. It's just one of these things that you got to have it in your house. You got to have it in your house.
Come on back to the podium.
Fine.
You have a question for me?
Fine. Well, I want you to tell us a little bit about the difference between fiberglass versus wood.
There's a lot to tell.
Okay.
There is a lot to tell.
Please do. Start with fiberglass. How about that?
Okay. Fiberglass is replacing wood. It's been out for quite a long time. You can get fiberglass windows, you can get fiberglass French doors, and you can get fiberglass entry doors. People are tired of wood. It warps, it cracks. Termites love to have their lunch on it.
Oh, yes.
And it gets deteriorated by the weather.
Sure.
I'll tell you a quick story. I replaced a door on the beach, in Leucadia about 20 years ago. And it had only been there for 8 years. And it literally looked like a piece of driftwood.
Oh my gosh.
It deteriorates so badly in certain conditions. If it's a south-facing wall, gets beaten up by the sun all day, you can have the best varnishes and Danish teak oils, and it just gets destroyed.
So that would be the maintenance of a wood door, but obviously still nonetheless, even though you're trying to maintain it, it gets just destroyed.
Well, it's just so expensive to very often have to strip and reseal a wood door.
So that's cons of a wood door.
Yep.
Are there any pros of a wood door?
Yep. Beauty.
Beauty. Okay. How about cost? Is a wood door quite expensive? More expensive than a fiberglass door?
Not
the same.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You could find a wood door that's cheaper than a fiberglass door, and you can find a wood door that's more expensive than a fiberglass door.
Okay. So lots of cons on about a wood door specifically.
Yes.
Okay. How about, are there any cons with fiberglass doors?
Well, the only con with anything these days is price, right?
Well,
everything's more expensive than it used to be. And, you can spend whatever you want to on a fiberglass door. We sell doors for $5,000. We sell them for $25,000. So depends on what your budget is.
Right.
But a fiberglass door is, in this day and age, it is so attractive because you can have a door that looks like wood.
Right. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Or you can paint it and have it look like that Corvette that we talked about earlier.
Sure.
You have the flexibility to change the design of your house, the color. You're not locked into one particular color or style.
Okay.
So that, fiberglass is it's more energy efficient. It doesn't deteriorate.
Right.
It'll last longer. What else do you need to know?
Oh, so you're telling me a lot of pros, I should say, for fiberglass.
Yes.
You haven't gotten to really any cons except for maybe cost, but you sure did talk about a lot of cons for wood doors. Yeah. So I'm feeling you here.
So let me
right?
let me tell our viewers the one thing that is almost mind-blowing with wood doors. If you look at the warranty information on a wood door, it says that upon delivery of a wood door to your job site, if it is not installed and finished, painted or sealed or stained,
done something to
within 24 hours, there's no warranty.
No kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And it is, when I was a general contractor and I used to hear this information, it was mind-boggling to me because that's basically saying that this wood door, we cannot guarantee that it will not warp, that it will not crack, that it won't get dry rotted out, that termites won't eat it or anything. You can't do anything about that. Okay. Fiberglass, you can control the narrative and you can control what happens to it.
Okay, so the story that you just mentioned, which I think is incredibly fascinating, you can get a wood door, obviously, but you're going to have to do something to it once it's installed, right? First of all, you get it delivered, you got to get it installed right away. Then you got to seal it or paint it or do something. And then there's that upkeep that you have, right? And so it's not like wood doors are less expensive than fiberglass doors.
Not necessarily.
You can say that, not necessarily. So you've got the sort of same expense as you have with fiberglass doors, but then you've got the added maintenance and the cost of that. So really, when you put a fiberglass door in, if I'm understanding you, you're saying to me, you put it in, set it, and forget it.
Pretty much. Now, just to be clear.
Pretty much.
If you have a 12-foot overhang over your entry door and the sun never gets to it and it's never going to get wet and you don't have a termite problem, could you and should you or would you invest in a beautiful wood door? Absolutely.
Okay.
Most homes don't have that condition.
Okay.
So therefore, a fiberglass door just makes more sense.
Okay. So there's a lot of conditions where you can have a wood door.
Yep.
It's just that typically, yep, what we're seeing, you don't have all of those conditions. You don't have a check. I've got, what did you say? Overhang.
10 to 12-foot overhang.
10 to 12-foot overhang.
Never gets wet.
Never gets wet.
And termites have been eradicated from your neighborhood.
And that's a miracle. Got it. Okay. So basically, if you don't have that, that's going to be really tough to have a wood door. Look, we all love wood doors. Personally, you and I love wood doors, right? Because they are so beautiful and you get that kind of vintage, old, European style home, which you can get. But again, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to do another little Vanna White thing here because I just love this door.
But you can.
It looks gorgeous. It's wood, it's fiberglass, and it looks like wood. And you can get it in all kinds of different stains as well,
That's right.
right? And can you do different grains?
You can.
You can even do different grains.
If you come on back here,
Oh, God.
I'll talk about the grains.
Tell me to keep coming back there.
Yeah. Wait, give me a stiff neck. So you can stain a multitude of different colors. You can have different grains. This one happens to be a vertical grain Doug fir, but there are many to choose from. So you talked about getting that sort of antique European door that, looks really old.
Sure.
You can do that.
Oh.
You can do that with a fiberglass door.
Okay.
You can make it look
Amazing.
old.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think that, is there anything else you want to add about wood versus fiberglass entry doors specifically?
Yeah, going back to the whole fiberglass and Corvette thing,
Yes.
I'd like to get a Corvette.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll just jump right on that there for you. Well, so I think that is really, of everything that we've talked about for entry doors, we started off the segment just saying, you can really, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you can have some unwanted costs, and it could just be, something that you really get yourself into. And so I think we really drilled down on some of those specifics. So I think that was really helpful. And then on top of that, you've got that beautiful curb appeal.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, the entry door is just that wow factor, and it really kind of sets that stage. Do you see those homes where you have the kind of the beautiful house? It's very maybe traditional, and then all of a sudden you have the red door.
I know you love red doors.
I do. I think they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and that just has that wow factor, right? Well, then there you go. That curb appeal, that wow factor that we're talking about with an entry door, and not to mention the fact that you got to be real careful. Costs, all the other things that we talked about.
And if you change your mind about that red door after you actually get one, you could paint it black.
Corvette.
Or yellow or green.
Corvette.
Whatever color you want.
Love it. And now, do you know what we're ready for? Where is she? She's somewhere. Savvy, where are you?
She's right here.
Savvy, you're right there. Oh, hold on. Let's go to Safety with Savvy. Welcome back to Safety with Savvy. Of course, we've got Savvy. Hi. Hi, my love. All right, Savvy, are you ready to show us a very, very scary video? Here we go.
My goodness.
Oh. Big Bird. I feel like Big Bird in this big giant vest that I'm wearing.
That's all right. You'll grow into it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so we just saw Big Bird.
Yeah.
Knock through a door, entry door.
Yeah. A cheap,
Yeah.
flimsy door with a very skinny jamb. And, this is the problem with really poorly made, cheap entry doors is you have no safety, you have no security. Sure as heck don't have any energy efficiency either.
Right.
Right?
Right, Tab?
So it's really important if you're going to buy a safe entry door that you buy something that is solid core, that it has really good quality and multi-point locking systems. You want to make sure that whoever's installing it is using really good long screws and screwing right into your studs that are behind the jamb, because if you're using a 3/4 inch screw to try and keep a door shut, that's really bad. Even Big Bird can kick it open.
I was just going to say, otherwise you're going to have Big Bird at your front door. Not good.
Big Bird, maybe not so bad, but other birds, yeah.
Or anybody.
Angry birds.
Angry birds, exactly. All right, well, thank you for watching Safety with Savvy. Say bye. Bye to our friends. Bye.
Look at them. Don't look at me.
Bye. Our big takeaways from today. Duncan, can you please tell me what they are? Actually, tell our friends.
Material, configuration, safety, and energy efficiency.
That's right. All about entry doors. All about entry doors. Next time on Stay Glassy, do you know what we're talking about?
I never do.
He never does. It's amazing. I love it. That's okay. I'll tell you what it is. Next time on Stay Glassy, which is going to be our 4th episode, we are going to be flipping it around a little bit. We're going to give you the top questions that you want to ask any home improvement salesperson. It's going to be good. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. In fact, I have one even better. Please comment, are you team wood or are you team fiberglass? We'd love to hear from you. So please leave your comments. And in the meantime, stay classy.
Stay glassy.